Hey you guys, this is Ocean. This is gonna be an actually quick video because I just wanted to show my new reading journal and talk about a little bit more about books on the channel because, you know, I love reading. I like writing as well, but, you know, reading more at this moment. Or no, maybe not, that's not true. Just I do reading a lot more. And I usually kept my records about books mainly on Goodreads, but I only, you know, like rated them, and I only had the when I started, when I finished, and I never really, you know, sat down and add an actual review because I always felt like that was too personal, and if I wanted to be honest about a book, I didn't want to do it online because sometimes, you know, I don't say nice thing about some elements of certain authors or a whole book. And I don't necessarily, you know, think that's useful to be publicly available somewhere because that's just my opinion. Other people love that book. Just because I don't like it, it doesn't mean it's a bad book. Sometimes it is, but sometimes, you know, a lot of people like it and I still think it's a bad book, but whatever. So I just created this. I had this journal for, I don't even know, like 8-10 years now. There were some notes in it. And I really, you know, like I use this, obviously, this wrapping paper, which is like copper and it's beautiful and I wanted to use it. So I slapped just one chapter sticker here to signify what this is about and fictional wanderlust because I think that's just perfect for an opening page. I plan on, you know, making this one a bit more like adding titles or whatever here, and I forgot to add an index page, so probably that's gonna be like something that I'm gonna keep here, and in the next one I'm gonna be better. But why I want to show is because if you have a different system and you have ideas, what else do you keep track of, then you can, you know, just show me. And otherwise I just wanted to show because I like talking about books, and why not. So there's only 6 books currently in here because I had one that I started the year with because I was planning on starting it when the year started, but that book was so bad for me. Like everything was bad. I didn't like the plot, the characters, the writing style. I didn't like anything. I only read it because a friend of mine loves that book. For them, it's the book series, and I was like, I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna read it, and I'd only finished the book because of them, and I hate everything about that book. So yeah, I didn't want to start the reading journal with that one because that just, I don't know, I didn't want to start it with a negative one. And then I started reading the Mortal Instrument series, and I read it in a 6-book in a one thing ebook style. So sometimes I don't have like favorite quotes, or because I just couldn't find it, or I don't exactly remember what I was thinking about the book because I just went through it too quickly because it was just like, you know, like awesome. I just wanted to keep reading it. And I already ordered the physical copies since I finished this, so I will have the physical ones, and then when those arrive, because I ordered this version, and then when I'm gonna reread them, I can make a different kind of review, because why not? So basically, I kind of like how it looks. I watched a few videos on reading journals, you know, to see what I want to keep track of. I don't necessarily need like spice meter and stuff like that because I don't particularly like look for spicy books. I mean, I read them if they are in there, and I appreciate them if they are part of the plot, but if it's just spice for spice, I don't care. So that's not something that's important for me. But what I have is, and you know, I make mistakes because I forgot to add the year published here, and I didn't know that I wanted to add the series when I started making this layout. So and sometimes I just mess up and I added stars here when it was the genre. So, you know, it happens, but the main point is that I can be much more honest on paper. That's one thing about my thoughts. And the second is that I can use my fountain pens because honestly, I don't really have occasions to use my fountain pens. So there are two empty ones that I created today because I started the Shatter Me series, so that's gonna be here, the first book at least. And then, you know, I try to add an empty page when I have time, so it's not too repetitive when I have a bunch of books. And I didn't add the stars because these are hand-drawn and they are not very good, and it's really bothersome to, you know, like draw all these stars. So I ordered a stamp. Hopefully the stars on it are not gonna be too big, but I think they are the like similar size, so that should be like good. And what I have is the title of the series, the author, the year published, number of pages. Like I forgot the off here, for example, started on, finished on, which I keep track of in Goodreads because it's easier. And then I make a note about if it's the physical copy or an ebook. The original one that I used as a layout idea, it had an audiobook option as well, but I don't listen to audiobooks. Those are never, that doesn't work for me. I need to read it in order to be able to imagine it in a way that I can immerse myself in it. So when someone reads it, I can't do that. And then I have the genre. The original had 6 like genres, and you can just, you know, like tick off, but that's a pre-printed style. And when I was thinking about, you know, like I don't want to like write all those 6 down because why, like what's the point? I just, you know, like add the title, this is a fantasy and a romance, and you know, I'm gonna label them the way that I want to label them. And then I have the star system. It's the overall, and then the characters, the plot, the ending, the pacing, and the writing style. And obviously they don't have to give out or up totally overall, because the pacing is just an indication of how fast or slow paced a book is. It's not good or bad, it's just, you know, like what is it? And then everything else is very subjective, so, you know, everything is just how I feel about it. And other than that, I have the favorite characters, the favorite quotes, which, for example, from the first book I had more than one, so I just added those in the thoughts and notes. I didn't have anything from City of Ashes for now. Maybe when I reread them I will have. I haven't had time to check if I had anything from the City of Fallen Angels, and like I said, I can't remember exactly what happened in this book because I was just reading them book by book, and I still haven't had time to sit down and add my notes about the last one, because I'm probably gonna do it today, but that's something that, you know, I need to think through and add, because I like I said, I bought the physical copies, so I loved this series. But yeah, this is just, you know, like a quick way of interacting with what I'm reading, because I don't always remember what I was thinking about the book, especially if I read it when I was 14 or 15, you know, I don't really remember anymore what I loved about a book. That's one thing that why I want to keep track of what I'm thinking. And the other thing is that, you know, we change, we grow older, we grow maybe wiser, but we experience certain things, and certain books mean certain other things in different phases in our lives. And I think it's gonna be fun to keep track of, you know, what I thought about the book when I first read it, and maybe, you know, when I read it later, what I thought about it. And like I said, it's a very good excuse to waste some ink on paper. Not really waste it, but you know. So that's just a quick video. Do let me know if you have an analog reading journal. What do you keep track of? What's the style? do you follow someone who has great ideas? Because like I said, I watched a few videos. Because I'm always open for ideas. This is just, you know, my first one. So if I want to change something, I can change it, you know, in the next layout. I don't have that urge to actually keep everything the same because I started it the same. If I find something better, I'm gonna just switch. Which is a thing for me, because I used to, you know, like do everything the same thing if I started in the same thing. So I'm very much in the let's be open, stay open to experiences phase. With this one, is just like with tarot. So yeah, do let me know. And what are you currently reading? If you want to talk about books, do let me know. See you in the next one. Bye.